Hey guys, so in today's video, I thought that I could take some time to respond to a couple of comments that I recently got on my videos. So I have specifically two comments from recent videos that I wanted to address because I feel like I've gotten them from a couple different people. So what I'm going to do in this video is read the comment and share my thoughts. So again, this is two separate comments from two separate videos. So this first comment was left on my video titled CPSGT Exam Prep. These flashcards are awful. In that video, I was kind of showing you guys some flashcards that I got from Mometrics to help me study for the CPSGT exam, which is finally scheduled, but I have not yet taken it. So I will make another video kind of showing you guys how I am studying for the CPSGT exam if you are curious. Also, if you are curious what the CPSGT exam is, I can go over that in more detail as well. So this first comment says, "Hi, what did you type in the QUIZLET app to study for the CPSGT and the RPSGT? I can't seem to find it in QUIZLET." So first of all, I'm not really focusing my studying on the RPSGT just yet. I do have a bunch of flashcard sets on Quizlet that I am working with and that I have saved for when I am focusing more on the RPSGT credential exam. Right now, my main focus has been the CPSGT exam, just because I do have to attain that credential in order to keep my job as a sleep tech at the hospital that I work at. So for now, my main focus has been CPSGT, but like I said, I have found multiple flashcard sets on Quizlet that pertain to both CPSGT and RPSGT, as well as A-STEP. I should also say that I did find a bunch of flashcard sets on Quizlet that pertain to the A-STEP course as well, the introductory course, for those of you who may be interested. So on Quizlet, basically for A-STEP, what I did was I just typed in AASM A-STEP, and a bunch of them popped up. Some of them are not up to date, I would say, but they did help kind of solidify certain information. And I will tell you that I cannot say exactly what is on the A-STEP final exam, because you do an agreement when you take the final exam that you're not going to share anything that's on the test, obviously. But I can say that a lot of the flashcards that are on Quizlet are not really exactly what's on the A-STEP final exam. So I just typed in A-STEP, AASM A-STEP, A-STEP introductory course, and some flashcard sets popped up. Like I said, it's good for gaining at least the basic knowledge for what you might need for your A-STEP program. But if you're looking for something that is exactly the information that you're going to learn, it's not exactly that. So for the CPSGT, I kind of basically did the same thing. I typed in CPSGT exam, CPSGT exam prep, CPSGT flashcards, and a whole bunch of them popped up. I will tell you that the CPSGT, RPSGT, and A-STEP flashcards are not as plentiful as they might be for like an NCLEX or an NHA exam, like a CCMA, or the phlebotomy exam, or the EKG exam, but they do exist. There are some out there. And the flashcard sets are pretty similar for the CPSGT between all the people that are listed on the flashcard sets, is what I mean. So it's very, very similar information. So just keep that in mind. Some of them are written a little bit differently, and so that's why I saved a bunch of different ones. Some of them focus more on terminology and things like that, but I saved a variety just so that I could study different things. For the RPSGT exam, I basically typed in the same keywords. So I typed in RPSGT, RPSGT exam prep, and AASM manual. I saved flashcards for like the 10-20 placement, because I know that you have to know the measurements in between and the percentages and things like that. So I tried to get like a plethora of information to help me study, because I know the CPSGT exam is more basic than the RPSGT, because the CPSGT is considered an entry-level credential for sleep medicine. or sleep technology. So the RPSGT is going to be more advanced and include more information on the exam. There are more questions on the exam as well. So hopefully that answers your question, and hopefully you find the flashcard sets that you are looking for. So the next comment was left on a video titled "Typical Night Shift as a Sleep Tech." And this comment was, "I'd like to know how stressful the job is. I don't work well under pressure." So I will tell you, out of all of the healthcare jobs that I have had, I have done multiple healthcare jobs. I've worked as a CNA, I've worked as a phlebotomist, I have worked as a medical assistant, and now obviously I'm working as both a medical assistant and a sleep tech. Currently not certified, but on track to get certified hopefully in June. So about a month from now, a little less than a month. Out of all of the healthcare related jobs that I have had, I would say that sleep tech is the least stressful. I think a lot of sleep tech is like you're waiting for the patient to show up. They show up, you hook them up, and then the night kind of calms down from there unless there's a whole bunch of events going on or some type of emergency happens. For the most part, I've been working in the sleep center since October of 2023, and it is May 2024 as I am filming this, and I have not had any emergencies, knock on wood, in the sleep center in the time that I have been up there. There is a reason why we have to be trained in CPR and know that type of information, because emergencies can happen, and with the sleep tech role, you're basically helping to help this, you want to help the person breathe better while they're asleep. And a lot of people with apneas and hypopneas and things, obviously they're either not getting enough air at night or they stop breathing for either an obstructive reason or a central reason. So, you have to be ready to deal with that. Usually when people stop breathing like that, you have to remember not to panic, because they do this at home. And that was one of the things that was more difficult for me, was learning not to panic, because when someone stops breathing, especially for a minute or longer, which I have seen, apneas last longer than a minute, it definitely freaked me out at first, because I was like, oh my gosh, how can this person be okay if they're not breathing? Like, I wanted to rush in there and help them. Like, it's just common sense in healthcare. But when you're dealing with sleep technology, you have to remember that people do this at home before they come in to do these sleep studies. And so their body is going to hopefully eventually kick in and tell them that they need to breathe. So I have not had someone who didn't have that kick from their body to tell them to start breathing again, or tell them to take a breath in or something. So thankfully I have not had that happen, but for the most part, it is a very non-stressful job. I have stress in my job just because of issues with a particular coworker. So don't take that into consideration when you're looking at this, because that is a coworker problem, not necessarily a sleep tech in general problem. So I would say that out of all of the healthcare jobs that I've had, this is definitely the least stressful one that I have held in healthcare. So hopefully that answers your questions. If you guys have any other questions that you would like me to address on my channel in the future, I would be glad to do so. If there are any other topics you would like me to address on my channel, let me know. And with that being said, I will talk to you guys next time.